Hello everyone. Today I want to share with you a project I recently completed, breathing new life into an old but reliable friend, the ThinkPad T430, by installing a fantastic lightweight operating system called Peppermint OS, specifically the latest Bookworm version. Why this combination? The ThinkPad T430 is a legendary laptop. It's built like a tank, has an amazing keyboard, but by today's standards its hardware is definitely aging. Standard modern operating systems can feel a little slow on it. That's where Peppermint OS comes in. It's a Linux distribution known for being incredibly light, fast, and stable. It's based on Debian 12, codenamed Bookworm, which means you get a solid, reliable base with access to tons of software. Putting Peppermint OS on a ThinkPad T430 is a perfect match. It takes this rugged, capable hardware and pairs it with an OS that doesn't weigh it down, allowing it to perform surprisingly well for everyday tasks. So, how do you do it? The process is pretty straightforward. First, you need to download the Peppermint OS Bookworm ISO file from the official Peppermint website. Second, you'll need a USB flash drive, ideally 8 GB or larger. Third, you will need a tool to create a bootable USB drive from the ISO file. Popular choices include Rufus on Windows or Etcher, which works on Windows, macOS, and Linux. Crucially, before you start, make sure you back up any important data on your T430, as we'll probably be wiping the hard drive during the installation. When the bootable USB is ready, plug it into the ThinkPad T430, turn on the laptop, and press F1 to access the BIOS setup. In the BIOS, go to the Restart tab. Then check OS Optimized Defaults. Change it to Enabled. Then press F9 to restore the default settings. Then press F10 to save and exit. Now the computer will restart. After the computer reboots, we see the boot screen. We press F12 to enter the boot item selection. We choose boot from USB HDD. At this point, the Peppermint OS Installer will launch from the USB drive, and I usually choose Peppermint OS Live to try it out first rather than installing it directly. This is the live environment. This is a good way to test that everything is working, for example, Wi-Fi and graphics, before confirming the installation. If everything looks good, you will find an icon, usually on the desktop, to launch the installer. The installer is very easy to use. In the Peppermint Installer, we will complete the selection of language, keyboard layout, location, settings. The most critical step is partitioning. For most people doing a fresh install to restore an old laptop, the easiest option is usually erase disk and install Peppermint. If you are dual booting, you will choose to partition manually, but for simplicity's sake, we will focus on the full installation. After partitioning, you'll set up your username and password. Then, the installer does its work, copies files, sets up the system. On this ThinkPad T430 laptop, the installation process took about 8 minutes. When the installation is complete, the installer will prompt you to restart your computer. Be sure to remove the USB drive when it prompts you to do so. After the first boot, we see the welcome screen of Peppermint OS. We choose Suggested to select the suggested software and suggested web browser. Suggested software includes Atril, Parole, Guf, Snap Package Platform, Flatpak Package Platform, Gnome Software Store, TimeShift. Suggested web browsers include Firefox Browser, Konqueror KDE Browser, Gnome Web's Epiphany, Tor Browser, Qt Browser, Chromium Browser, Falkon Qt Browser. Peppermint OS is a member of the large Linux family. Its main goals are to be fast, lightweight, and easy to use. The Bookworm section indicates that this particular version is based on Debian 12. Why is it important to be based on Debian 12? Debian is known as the universal operating system. It is known for its rock-solid stability, rigorous testing process, and large software repository. By building on Debian 12, Peppermint OS inherits this stability and has access to relatively new packages, giving you a reliable and up-to-date system. Peppermint achieves its lightweight nature through several design choices. It typically uses a less resource-intensive desktop environment. The current release defaults to XFCE. XFCE provides a traditional, intuitive desktop experience without consuming as much RAM or CPU cycles as some heavier environments. In addition, Peppermint OS tends to ship with a minimal set of pre-installed applications. This avoids bloat and allows users to install only what they need. In short, Peppermint OS is designed to get out of the way and let your hardware resources be used by your applications, not the operating system itself. If you own a classic ThinkPad T430, you can upgrade it with an SSD and install the streamlined, fast, and modern open-source operating system Peppermint OS Bookworm. What you'll get is a powerful, stable, and surprisingly lively machine that's perfectly capable of handling everyday computing tasks, browsing the modern web, and being a reliable workhorse for years to come. It's a testament to the enduring quality of ThinkPad hardware and the power of an efficient Linux distribution. Peppermint OS Bookworm gives the ThinkPad T430 with its great hardware an extended lifespan and saves it from the landfill.